Australia's youth crime crisis. What's really going on? Australia. The land of beaches, Barbies, and bold young burglars? Yep, welcome to the less sunny side of the sunburnt country, where youth crime is making more noise than a cockatoo at 5 a.m. And when we say noise, we mean high-speed car chases, home invasions, and TikToks straight from the crime scene. Who knew Gen Z would be starring in their own real-life version of Fast and Furious, the Queensland Drift? But let's not jump the gun. What exactly is going on with youth crime in Australia? And why are governments suddenly rewriting rulebooks faster than teenagers rewrite their Instagram bios? Let's start with what's changed. The government crackdown, turning up the heat. Australia's getting serious, like real serious, about youth crime. Especially in Queensland, where lawmakers passed what's known as the Making Queensland Safer Act. Which, let's be honest, sounds like a superhero comic. Except instead of capes, it comes with courtroom verdicts. This law is no joke. It's basically a zero-patience policy towards serious young offenders. First off, courts no longer have to treat detention as a last resort for kids. That means if a 16-year-old is found guilty of a serious crime like armed robbery or car theft, the judge can skip the slap-on-the-wrist stage and go straight to off to detention, mate. Even more controversial? If a youth commits certain violent or dangerous crimes, they can now face the same penalties as adults. You heard that right. Adult crime, adult time. That's the slogan. Sounds like something off a bumper sticker, but it's the real deal. Let's say a 17-year-old is charged with murder. Under the new law, they can be sentenced just like an adult. Life detention with a non-parole period of 20 years. That's longer than some people's marriages. And there's more. If a youth in detention turns 18, they're automatically transferred to adult prison. No party. No cake. Just new roommates with face tattoos and stories about, back in my day. The government has also given the media more power to report on youth court cases. Previously, these were mostly confidential, but now, under certain circumstances, accredited media can attend and report. That means more public accountability, and probably a few more awkward moments for young offenders who thought their court case wouldn't go viral. What are the kids actually doing? Now let's look at what kinds of crimes are spiking. First, car theft. Or as it's called on TikTok, #borrowed for the vibes. Seriously, videos have emerged of teens joyriding stolen vehicles, filming themselves doing burnouts, and adding trending music like it's a music video. Somewhere in the corner, the insurance companies are weeping into their calculators. Then there's home invasions. Some teens are breaking into homes just to grab car keys or phones, but others are doing it for the thrill, for the adrenaline, for the street cred. Which is ironic because they're doing it in suburbs where the loudest thing used to be a lawnmower at 7 a.m. Armed robbery has also made the list, and while you might be imagining balaclavas and tactical gear, sometimes it's just a group of teens with knives or even machetes, walking into stores and taking what they want. Victoria recently banned the sale of machetes in response. Because let's be real, no teenager needs a machete unless they're trying to cut sugarcane or fight off zombies. Social media threats, online bullying, and even live-streamed crimes are also rising. That's right, committing a crime is no longer enough. Now it has to come with likes, comments, and a trending hashtag. Welcome to Crime Talk, where your rap sheet doubles as your content calendar. Why is youth crime increasing? Let's get real, so why is this happening? What's turning kids into keyboard warriors by day and street racers by night? First, social media. Teens are filming crimes not just for fun but for fame. They want to go viral, to impress their peers, to be known. It's no longer about hiding what you did, it's about sharing it with cinematic lighting and subtitles. One teen was caught breaking into a house, and within hours, the video was posted with background music and slow-mo effects. Spielberg would be proud. If he wasn't completely horrified. Second, disengagement from school and community. Many of these young offenders are not in school, not in training, and not in work. That's what they call being NET, not in education, employment, or training. Basically, free time with no responsibilities and access to the internet. A dangerous combo. Family breakdown is also a key factor. A lot of these kids come from unstable homes or homes where parents are struggling too. Add in substance abuse, poverty, or domestic violence, and you've got a recipe for rebellion. Then there's mental health. Anxiety, depression, trauma. Many young offenders have serious mental health issues that have gone unaddressed for years. Instead of therapy, they find release in risky behavior. Not ideal but very real. Peer pressure, gang recruitment, and just plain boredom all mix into the cocktail. And when you live in a society where streaming services autoplay everything, sometimes real-life chaos becomes the new entertainment. The government's big moves. Australia hasn't just toughened up the penalties, governments are also trying to balance punishment with prevention. Sort of like saying, you're grounded but here's a life coach. There are more youth justice workers on the ground, working with families and at-risk teens. Community programs are being funded, some involving sports, some involving art therapy, and others where kids sit in circles and talk about their feelings while painting kangaroos. Hey, whatever works. In some areas like the ACT laws are shifting the other way. They're increasing the minimum age of criminal responsibility, meaning kids under 12 and eventually under 14 can't be charged at all. The theory? They're too young to truly understand the consequences. In contrast, Queensland is basically saying, nah mate, if you can rob a servo you can do the time. Victims' rights are also being boosted. Families can now attend youth court hearings. Victims of crime are being offered more support services, more counseling, and more say in what happens next. Some police forces are trying early intervention strategies like visiting schools, offering mentorship programs, or dragging kids home at 2 a.m. with the kind of look that says, "Don't make me call your mom." There's also been talk of curfews, GPS tracking devices for repeat offenders, and more boot camp-style detention programs. Whether these are effective or just make teens better at hiding their phones, that's still up for debate. Funny but sad. The real-life ironies. Okay, let's talk about some of the wild and ironic things that have come out of this mess. One teen was arrested during a break-in because he left behind his unlocked phone, still streaming live to Instagram. He didn't just confess to a crime. He got caught in HD. Another group of teens were caught after stealing a car and driving to McDonald's to post selfies with their loot. Imagine a police report that says, "Suspects apprehended due to excessive selfies and poor judgment in fries." And then there's the one where a young offender posted a TikTok bragging about avoiding police, while the police were literally watching that TikTok and pinpointing their location. The magic of geotagging. It's the kind of comedy that only happens when technology meets terrible decision-making. What can be done? A hopeful glimpse. Here's the good news. Most young offenders can change. Most kids don't want to spend their lives in and out of detention centers with names like Wackle or Banksia Hill. They want attention, guidance, and purpose. Give them that and the chance to fix their mistakes, and they can turn their lives around faster than you can say reform. Communities need to be involved. Schools need more resources. Families need support. And yes, the justice system needs to stay tough when necessary, but not so tough that a 13-year-old becomes just another statistic in an adult jail. Let's be real. We can't scare kids into good behavior, but we can show them something better to aim for. Because if the only future they see is either fame or jail, some will actually choose jail just to get the followers. And that, my friends, is the twisted logic of modern youth crime. So next time you hear someone say, "Kids these days," just remember they're still kids. But kids living in a world way more complex, chaotic, and camera-ready than anything we ever dealt with. And honestly, if we can solve youth crime with a combo of justice, compassion, and maybe a really good Wi-Fi blocker, we might just have a chance.